Where were the celebrities tonight? Were they out there? Maybe they were. Maybe I just missed them. It certainly was a short drive for them on this one to the Rose Bowl to see Deion Sanders and his ball club, and they've been on the bandwagon. They might be front runners, though. That could be possible. All right, I was interested in this one. The UCLA-Colorado matchup, so was ABC to make it a primetime game. To make that a primetime game, yes. Bruins survive in this one 28-16, and they largely dominated, certainly at the line of scrimmage. They were the much better football team, but Colorado hung in it due to some mistakes. Please subscribe here at the Voice of College Football. Hit the like button, do all those good things, even if you don't agree with me, if you enjoy the content and the best discussion, debate, and analysis because of your contribution. And, of course, I know that you're awaiting the top 25 that actually makes sense that will come out on Sunday. Did you see this first Colorado field goal? They hit the field goal. I got to give a lot of credit to both the holder and the kicker to maintain the concentration because the UCLA gunner forgot to get his name. Sorry. The one, boom, from the outside. He came through so quickly. He, was standing. He flew right by the kicker. It was unbelievable. I've never seen a player in a better position to block a kick, but he was almost in too good of a position that he broke through too quickly, and he just ran right by the kicker. Boom, 3-0 Colorado. They kicked another field goal to go up 6-0 in this game, and you were wondering, I was wondering at least, I don't know what you were wondering, what was going on with UCLA because just physically, just a better, deeper team, faster team. Not so much the speed difference, but the bulk size difference. And along the offensive and defensive lines, it was noticeable. Even though Colorado was respectable in holding UCLA to just 218 yards rushing. First UCLA touchdown came out of a T backfield. They had three full house backfield, three backs there. They leaked out Carson Steele. They had a nice little formation where the first two backs on the left side of the T, and if you're not familiar, you're starting to see old formations being implemented in college football. Trying to remember which other game I was talking about today where we saw the T formation with three backs. Well, the first two backs shot left and stayed there to protect the quarterback and bring in the defense, and then the other running back, it was Carson Steele, leaked out for the touchdown pass, 7-6 Bruins at that point. Carson Steele had a decent game as he typically does. He's a really good running back, but issues hanging on to the football. Had a long run to set up UCLA in good shape, but Shiloh Sanders, I got to say, this boy can hit. I am telling you, he's missed one tackle this season. That's the report from the game. One tackle this season, and I've seen enough Colorado football, as we all have at this point. I am super impressed with him and the physicality in which he brings to the field. Unlike his famous father, who is one of the greatest players of all time, but when it came to tackling, not so much. He laid it on Carson Steele, and Omarion Cooper recovered it, so that was a UCLA scoring threat that was stymied. Travis Hunter, oh my word, is he good. Did you see him on both of these interceptions? Bait the quarterback, and then on one of them, he locked down his guy, but knew, hey, he's going to see that I've got this guy locked down, and then I'm going to release, play off of him, bait him, boom. And he's good enough and quick enough and reads it well enough, and the timing is so good that he's able to do that consistently. He did that in the second quarter and dove for the interception. Might have got a little help from the ground, but the play stood up for the first interception by Travis Hunter. Shiloh Sanders laid another hit on a ball carrier after a reception across the middle. The player was just turning, and it was a targeting call. It was a close targeting call. Yes, technically, yes, he lowered the helmet and laid it into the opposing player's face mask. He did lead with the shoulder. He tried to do the right thing, I believe. It looked like it, but kicked out of the ball game. So Shiloh Sanders, a really good defensive back, but had to leave the game in the first half. I believe that we were still in the first half at that point. UCLA had a first and goal and could not push it across. I was impressed with Colorado's stand on that particular series, and then they clanked the field goal off the left upright. So we still had a 7-6 game. Finally make it 14-6 when, again, Carson Steele had another fumble inside the 10. UCLA could have been up like 28-0 in the first half, but had another fumble inside the 10. Ward made the pop on this play that, again, basically lifted him off the ground. But then UCLA goes 2 plays in 75 yards. This time they go to the air with Logan Loya and then also Malika Mataveo with the receptions. Mataveo with the touchdown from Ethan Garber. So we had a 14-6 game as the Bruins finally start to separate here because their defensive line abused Colorado. Shedeur Sanders was beaten up and thrown around like a rag doll in this game at one point, and this was still 12, 13 minutes left in the game. He had been hit and knocked down 17 times. So probably over 20 knockdowns by Shedeur Sanders. The UCLA defensive line, again, they only gave up 38 yards rushing on 24 carries, 1.6 per carry. Colorado would get the big play, though. Shedeur Sanders did hit 27 of 43 for 217, and the big play down the right sideline. It was beautiful to watch. Pitch and catch between Shedeur and Xavier Weaver that led to another field goal because UCLA not giving up touchdowns in this game when it mattered. It was late in the game before UCLA gave up anything on defense in the end zone. They had a 13-play, 80-yard drive, and then an 11-play, 75-yard drive where the Bruins started to really lean on the Buffs at this point. And they win 28-16. Again, it was 28-9. Colorado scores late when it didn't matter. 487 yards of total offense to 255. And at one point, I marked it down at 434 to 146. But again, because of the turnovers, mostly the Carson Steele, he had 2 fumbles down near in the red zone inside the 10-yard line. And then you had the 2 Garber's picks off of Travis Hunter in which he made those ridiculous plays that kept Colorado in the game. But UCLA marches on to the win by 12. Okay, Bruins at 6-2, 3-2 in the Pac-12. They need a lot of help to stay in this. But, man, they've got a good defense. And then you've got Colorado at 4-4, 1-4. Can they get the 2 more wins? Colorado's got a date against Oregon State in Boulder. Oregon State playing right now against Arizona. And for UCLA, they're going to take on that hot Wildcats team that took USC to triple overtime. Then they took Washington to a 1-score game. And then, of course, they annihilated Washington State 44-6. We'll see what they do tonight against Arizona State. Pac-12 after dark. Great stuff, great league. Top 5 or 6 are extremely difficult. Too bad it's going away. But UCLA, can they make a run to the Pac-12 championship game? They need help. But, man, they've got the defense. Leave your comments below right here at the Voice of College Football.